In this clip, we are going to use the ZDefocus node and the depth path we rendered in Arnold to create a nice depth of field. If you want to follow along, you can open the file m6_02 in the nuke directory. Okay, let's start by making a bit of room to be able to apply the depth of field before the crane. Okay, let's look for a ZDefocus node and plug in that node right after the merge node. Now your entire image should be blurry. So I won't go into details about this node, but it's a really good node, allowing you to blur the shots in a realistic way, choosing the look of your bokeh with these controls here. And if you want more info about the ZDefocus, I have a pretty complete demo of this node in my course Getting Started with Motion Graphic for Nuke in the clip named Create a Lens Blur using the ZDefocus. Well, next, to have this node to behave properly, I need to feed it a depth path. So let's create a copy node with the K key and then plug the B input before the ZDefocus, and the A input goes to the camera 2Z, which is the depth path rendered in Arnold. Now let's copy the RGBA.red channel to the depth.z channel. And now, if you look here, your image has a depth channel. Perfect. Now, using the focal point of the ZDefocus, I can really easily set where I want to set my focus. So it works perfect. But still, we need to change a couple of things. This node is ready to work with any kind of depth path. By that I mean that any render engine will render a different depth map. Sometimes this map will be mapped between 0 and 1, and it is what you need to work in After Effects, for example, as we saw in the previous module. Now you can adapt the math in function of the type of map you are fitting it. For example, here you can choose that one if black means 0 close to the camera, and you will choose this one if white means 0, so white will be close to the camera, if the map has been inverted, and so on. So if you keep your mouse hovering this knob, you'll have a short description here. Arnold uses the depth mode as each pixel represents the distance in front of the camera. So in order to work properly here, you will need to select the depth mode, as our depth path is from Arnold. Now you can come over to the focal plane setup to see where you want to set the focus, and you can play with the depth of field to increase or decrease it. Green means in focus, blue means too far, red means too close. When you are satisfied, you can switch back to the result mode. Now you can increase or decrease the blur with the size knob here. And keep in mind that this knob, the maximum knob, will act like a clamp value for the blur. So maybe here, let's increase the maximum to 12, and 10 in size sounds like a good value. Next, you can easily animate the focal point. Let's animate the focus when the second gramophone appears. So I'll go around frame 74 when the first gramophone appears, and I'll make sure the focus is set on the closed letters. Then I'll do a right click on the focal plane and set a key. Now I will move to frame 85 and simply shift the focal point to the gramophone here. And Nuke set a key automatically. We should have a pretty good transition between these frames. Let's cache this section to have a look. To create a section to cache, you can just do a Ctrl or Command click before and after your playhead on your timeline. And now let's click on play. Perfect! See how easy it was? And it really adds a lot to the shot. Great, now that we are done with the depth of field, let's grade a bit this shot. Let's do that in the next clip. See you there.